What's up guys, Steven Dax here. Today I want to talk about XNET. As for the past month, this is a really good I would say short-term supply and demand meet balance, because trading penny stocks you have to be perfectly understanding what's supply and demand, and once the demand goes really high, and the stock fundamental doesn't match the point as the stock price is, there's always going to be a balance point. And if the stock is overextended, stock will drop 50-70%. If the stock is oversold, the stock will bounce 50%, maybe even break to the new high. And most likely you will see overextended more than oversold most of the time. So on XNET, this stock went from 4 to 28. And as to see the chart, I want you to see the chart as clearly as I'm seeing, so you can get an understanding of what people are thinking, what's people's thoughts. So for this one, companies was hyped by Bitcoin, and this company has nothing to do with Bitcoin. I would say this said something about Bitcoin, but Chinese government are regulating Bitcoin turning into yuan. So that's something to keep in mind. And if this company is in China, and those hype won't turn into yuan, you won't benefit the company, and that's something to keep in mind. So this company is completely getting up with hype, so it's not a fundamental. It doesn't have a solid fundamental. So let's get started. So this company, Bitcoin hype, same thing, to treat everybody thoughts of overextended stocks are always likely to go down, and there's going to be two kinds of people. First, there is short-term short sellers. Next, it's going to be a long-term short sellers. And in my DVD, I'm going to mention what kind of volume and method to use for a long-term short sell, what kind of volume and method to use for short-term short sell. So for this one, you had a triple top or lower high and lower high for XNET at around 13ish. Once they cracked the support, I remember I was taking shorts from this pop. My averages are around like 1180, something like that. So I covered around this 8.8, and I know this one's not a long-term short, so I covered instantly, and I didn't even think about adding into pops or adding into for future fading. And the stock had a short squeeze for most of the time. Stock had this huge bearish trend, and the stock holds for 2 days and starts short squeezing, breaking the previous high. This is something for you to looking forward to go along with, because short squeeze this fast will leave a bunch of short sellers inside too. They, for whatever reason, they didn't have a time to cover, or they didn't they want to cover in the pullback. So this 1150 area, that cracking support becomes a solid support. That's why the stock bounced from there. So a U-shaped chart, bouncing from previous support, breaking that, looks like a really good couple handle, but it's a not double top. So looks like a couple handle. And for what's the reason behind cup handle? Because it left short sellers behind. Some short sellers didn't get out. They cover in the pullback because they know there's a support, and dip buyers wants to dip buy that support. So there's one short seller covered, two dip buyers are buying the support, and the big ones going insane. That's even creating more hype. That's why the stock hold this 1140 and start shooting up to the sky. And this is the reason behind it, to dip buy at this area. And it is possible to get this kind of entry because you know the stock has a high possibility to bounce from this support. You can use this low as your 1130. You can use this 1130 as your risk, and dip buy around this 11. I think it's around 1140. So now the stock, for most of the time on this heavy volume stock, you squeeze around 60%, but this one squeezed even more. So that really tell you the stock is really overextended because it squeezed a lot of short sellers inside, and the balance point is not met. It's not met by the stock by itself. So once the stock hits that 28 and start going red solid on the day, and went super red, completely red around, I think it was around Wednesday. That's the signal. Once it cracked that support, let me show you a closer chart. So once you're starting cracking this support and this kind of line, this is the signal to tell you, okay, the stock is done, and find the bounce to short, because double top consolidating, breaks consolidating, that's a really bearish trend, especially on really overextended stocks. So if the stock has double top consolidating and end of the day start cracking, that's really bearish sign. Short into bounce, adding short partial in weakness, especially for very overextended stocks. I never recommend short into weakness on the first green day. So don't short into that, and add into strength on the bounce. So I think my averages are, I shorted around this crack, around this 22 area, add into the bounce, and I just ride it all along because on this insane overextended stocks, I think I mentioned on Twitter, this one will go to 15 or under. It went to actually 11. Didn't thought about that one. And for for a company like their market cap are over 200 million and 300 million or 500 million, they most of the time has some kind of foundation, so they won't drop 80%, 90% of the time, but they will bounce. So when the stock already meet that kind of balance point, you do want to get out with your short positions. So after that, it's completely decided by the stock's fundamental. So I just don't care about the rest of the side, and I can focus on taking a full advantage of a balance point and what you need to do, and patience. So thank you very much. I hope it's understandable, and if you like it, click the like button. I will do more videos in the future, so feel free to subscribe. And for people who purchased the DVD, I will be releasing around January, so will be faster than you think. And I think pre-order ends around December 25th. So take your chance. And for this DVD, I didn't really hold anything back, because for most of the people, they hold something back, and they hold something back because I want to give everything out, because I trust myself. I always trust myself that in the future I will learn more, and I will make a new different DVDs for penny stocks. Penny stocks is it's not just that few patterns. There's a lot more patterns that you can take a full advantage on. So if you're interested, I will be including there will be including the basic knowledge for stock market, so beginners will be okay. And next part will be include technical analysis. The third part will be including the live trading, and the fourth part will be including the statistics analysis. So on January, I will be releasing the first two parts, the beginner and the pattern. So the pattern I use every single day, there will be around 8 patterns, 4 long patterns and 4 short patterns. They are really useful. They happen really often. So so if you like it, click the subscribe buttons. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day.